Hare Krishna. We'll be talking about the Western management style now. In specific, we'll take one case study of a presentation called the systems approach to management, temple organization. So this presentation was given by one devotee, Gaurang Prabhu. He is the vice president or president of Chowpatty temple, and it seems like it was very much appreciated by the other presidents and managers, the middle layer leadership of ISKCON. So I thought, let us see that. So first we'll just see the presentation, not the whole thing, just a quick overview, and not even overview, just a quick pushing of the slides, and next we'll compare it with the Varnashram systems. So first of all, the presentation that was given. That was the systems presentation. Now we will compare it with the Varnashram systems. Systems management style versus Varnashram management style. Let us see. First point, leader. Who is the leader? Who basically directed the whole philosophy? For systems style, there is some soul in the material world. And for Varnashram, as Prabhupada says, the biggest leader, Krishna. Aham adirhi devanam. We are not taking any other leader. Leader basically here means who leads, not exactly who is on necessarily who is on the field, but who directs the activities, who directs the whole thing, under whose direction things go on. There may be a leader who listens to somebody else, so that somebody else becomes the actual leader, who gives direction, whose plan we follow. That person is the leader. So even while Prabhupada is discussing about when he says leader, he actually means that you can go through Prabhupada quotations and read, and you will understand that Prabhupada, when he says leader, he actually means one whose plan is being carried out. He is the actual leader, not the executive leader. Second point, the perfect leader check. Now Prabhupada gives a criteria. What is the perfect leader? He says perfect leader means he should not make mistakes, he shouldn't be illusioned, no cheating, no imperfection. Is the leader of the system style perfect? No, he is not free from the four defects. But as far as Krishna is concerned, perfect leader is God. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam. Before we go ahead, let's say something about leader, what Prabhupada has to say about a leader. You can become perfect if you follow a perfect leader. That's all. How it can be done? Because the leader who introduced the system is rascal, so how the system can be perfect? No, because you are rascal, you are under nature. So how can you guide me? Your position is the same. You are blind, I am blind. How you can lead me? Why should I accept a blind leader? If I am blind, and if a blind man says, come on, I shall guide you, why shall I accept that leader? Political, social is not. The leader must be perfect. If the leader is blind, how can I accept such blind leader? I am blind, what is the use? I am blind, therefore I am asking, can you help me to cross the road? Another blind, yes, I will come. Yes, come on, I shall. Why shall I accept? First of all, I shall ask, have you got eyes? No, I am also blind. What is this nonsense? Next we'll see what Prabhupada says about imperfect leaders. The leader must be perfect. If the leader is blind, how can I accept such blind leader? This is the difficulty that these people are coming as philosophers teaching. Rascals. They are taking the position of teacher. That is the defect. We don't take like that. Dogs, hogs, we cannot accept. Actually, Prabhupada has many quotations, but I'm just giving one or two for reference here. So you just get the idea of Prabhupada's mood over it. And there is another thing. Although I have referred Krishna as the leader, which is true, but here is an additional point regarding that. You cannot accept Krishna directly. You cannot directly accept Supreme Being. You must accept servants of the Supreme Being, the Brahmanas or Vaishnavas, devotees of the Lord, as your guides. And therefore, ISKCON accepts direction from Srila Prabhupada. And that is the reason I am also quoting Prabhupada for directions. Now you will ask whether Prabhupada is free from defects. So here it is. Because Vaishnavas speak exactly according to the tune of Krishna, whatever they say is free from these 4 defects. So in practical, Prabhupada is the leader and he is also free from defects. Which means what he says is also free from defects. Third, what is the method of organization they have proposed? System-based approach and ISO. And what about Varnashram? In order to organize, Krishna recommends the Varnashram Dharma. Chatur Varna Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashya. What is the aim? Systems management. It says aim is satisfaction, devotee satisfaction. This word devotee satisfaction comes 11 times in the presentation. As efficiency improves, the cost of quality is reduced and increases devotee satisfaction at other places too. So devotee satisfaction is stressed so much. That is the aim that they are aiming. And Varnashram, the whole aim was how to go back to home, back to Godhead. So everything was planned with that aim. Varnashram, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. And then there is again, ultimately the aim of Varnashram Dharma is to turn a crude man into a pure devotee of the Lord or Vaishnava. That is the aim of Varnashram. Does the system have continuous improvement? Yes. The systems management, it does have continuous improvement. That is given in the slide 12. What about Varnashram? Well, improvement is needed for a system that is not perfect. But Varnashram institution offers the perfect process. Therefore, improvement is not needed. Let's see what Prabhupada says about continuous improvement or purging, as he says. Here devotees are proposing continuous purification. Prabhupada. That means purge out means it is not perfect. No. And then devotees are again trying to push the system. No, it is this, that. And then Prabhupada gives a very solid point. He says, no, but if I can give you any system which is perfect, why you will not accept it? Why you are so fool? I love this point so much. So simple and logical. Alright, let's go ahead. Theory of satisfaction. How do you get satisfaction? What does the system proposes? What is the proposal for satisfaction? How are you going to get satisfied? So systems management says, as efficiency improves, the cost of quality is reduced and increases devotee satisfaction at other places too. So it says, as efficiency increases, then cost of quality reduces and that gives satisfaction, devotee satisfaction. Alright. And then what Varnashram says, what Prabhupada is saying. Varnashram Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu, but one should satisfy Krishna. Unless the love comes to Krishna, there is no question of satisfied. So basically he is saying that unless you come to love Krishna, there is no question of satisfied. So that's why they are satisfying Krishna, so that everyone will be satisfied. That's the point. Let's see a bit of comparison between the theories of satisfaction. I remember this communist also had a theory of satisfaction and Prabhupada had an argument against it. Let's see all. Communist. The communists theorize that if the worker contributes to the central fund, he will get satisfaction in return. And systems management says, as efficiency improves, the cost of quality is reduced and increases devotee satisfaction at other places too. And Srila Prabhupada's argument, this argument was given against the communists rather, but it applies very well with this also, because anything apart from Krishna consciousness or anything apart from satisfying Krishna will not give you satisfaction. So let's see what Prabhupada's argument is. Yes, but if he sees imperfection in the center, he will not work enthusiastically because he will have no faith that he will get full satisfaction. That perfection of the state will never be there, and therefore the workers will always remain dissatisfied. So Prabhupada's point is, if the leader is not right, if the leader is not perfect, there is no question of satisfaction. So the leader has to be perfect. And for systems management, the leader is not a perfect person. But for Varnashram is Krishna, and that is perfect. That's why they will be satisfied. That's why people will be very confident that yes, if Krishna has given the system, it has to be perfect, and we'll get success in life. Focus on efficiency. As efficiency improves, the cost of quality is reduced. So yes, it does focus on efficiency. Systems management focuses on efficiency. Varnashram, what is the focus? The climax of the system of Varnashram Dharma or Sanatan Dharma is to train him to be detached from sex life. That is the focus, if you see. Detached from sex life. In fact, the whole ashram dharma, as we discussed, it is aimed towards detachment. So that is the focus. Not efficiency, but in systems management, the focus is efficiency. Let's see what Srimad Bhagavatam purport says about efficiency. In Western culture, the Greek sophists were amongst the first to systematically argue for rhetoric and efficiency above wisdom and purity. And sophistry certainly flourishes in the 20th century. Although many modern thinkers are fundamentally ignorant of the higher spiritual reality, they are, so to speak, good talkers. And most people simply do not notice their ignorance. This purport really nailed it. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let us see what is the difference between the stresses on accountability. First point, subordinates or citizens accountability. General common devotee class or like common public accountability. Who are they accountable to? How much this accountability is stressed? In systems approach, they are accountable to manager, and that is very heavily stressed under different headings like reporting, review and correction. And in Varnashram, yes, it is sufficiently stressed. Accountability is definitely to the king and the spiritual master. What about the leaders or the king's accountability? How much is it stressed in systems approach? It's not talked about in the systems approach. Who the leader will be accountable or not much. Not anything really discussed. Varnashram, very heavily discussed. King has to be accountable to the Brahmanas and the scriptures. He has to be representative of Krishna. Prabhupada gives heavy stress on this point that the king must obey the instructions of the Lord. And he is accountable to the Brahmanas. He should obey the instructions of the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. In fact, if the leader is not following, then he literally can be dethroned. The king or the leader has to be accountable. The Brahmanas keep a very minute watch over the activities of the king. They are always guiding the king. Very heavily stressed. Kings or leaders' accountability. Okay, let's see about the stress on controlling. Stress on controlling whom? It is stressed that the serving devotees, they should be controlled. Serving or the citizens, those who are serving, they should be controlled. If it is in the industrial atmosphere, they talked about the workers or the employees. But since it is in the ISKCON, so it has to be serving devotees. In Varnashram, the stress is on controlling the king or the leader. Very much heavily stressed. Of course, all are to be controlled. But the stress is on the controlling the leader than the general devotees, general public. Instruction giver, who gives the instruction? Leader, whosoever is there. And for Varnashram, it is Krishna's direct instructions. Who is the instruction follower? What is the stress upon? Serving devotees. They will be given the instructions. They will have to follow the instructions of the leaders. And Varnashram, very heavily stressed that the king or the leader class, they should be following the instructions of the Lord very strictly. They should be a representative of the Lord. What is the instruction manual? For systems approach, it is the process manual given by the leaders. And for Varnashram, it is scriptures, especially like Bhagavad Gita. Alright, let's see what Prabhupada has to say about citing authority. Unfortunately, there are many so-called philosophers in the present age who give instruction without citing authority, and many leaders follow their unauthorized instruction. Consequently, people are not happy. And in another place it says, the leader of mistake therefore immediately gives evidence from the Shastra. What is the use of quoting from the Shastra? Just to prove that I am not mistaken. Here is the proof. That's why you will see Prabhupada giving so many proofs. He speaks a sentence and gives immediately a reference. Speaks a sentence, gives a reference. Shruti Spruti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Ekantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpata Eva Kalpate. Any system we accept must be supported by evidence from Shruti, Smruti, the Puranas and Pancharatras. That which is not proved by these Puranas is a disturbance. What Prabhupada says about manufactured ideology? They are manufacturing their own governing, and that is their defect. They will never be successful. They are imperfect, and if they go on manufacturing their own ways and means, they will remain imperfect. There will always be revolution, one after another. There will be no peace. And another place. But a king like Maharaj Yudhishthir has no ideology of his own. It is instructed in the Shastras that one should follow great authority and the infallible Lord without any personal motive and manufactured ideology. Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that anyone who lives on concocted ideas without reference to Shastra never becomes successful and does not attain happiness or liberation after death. And the other references, but we will see only a couple more. But Krishna says, as it is, there is no question of altering or changing according to circumstances. We know Krishna is perfect. Whatever he said, it is all right in all conditions. That is our belief. We do not deviate. And another place. That is civilization. No speculation. The formula is already there. Bhagavad Gita is the guidance. As it is. Be happy here and next life hope. Why you are disappointed? Take this way and be happy. This is our moment. What Prabhupada says about Western style. Our authority is Krishna. Our authority is Ramanuja, Madhvacharya, Manu, and his authority is rats and pigeons. That is the difference between the West and East. Another place. The defect is that these programs are being forwarded by some rascal, therefore they are defective. Now one rascal is forwarding some program, another rascal next time. So this is going on in the Western world. Because according to Bhagavad, we belong to the category of dogs, hogs and camels. Suppose dog has given some program and camel says, no, this program is better than this one. And the ass comes, he introduces another program. This program is better than this one. So, this is, especially in the Western countries, they are doing so independence. But, very important line, but the Vedic civilization, there is no independence. Very important. There is no force to come in Vedic civilization, but if you are coming to Vedic civilization, there is no independence. They must follow the Vedic injunction. Mind you, there is no force to come to a Vedic civilization, but if you want to, there is no independence. They must follow the Vedic injunction. And then again, another place Prabhupada is saying, the government is imitating Western ways. There is no need of Brahman. There is no need of Kshatriya. Simply Shudras. Everywhere this is the position. The Shudra population, Kalau Shudra Sambhav. And you will note that in the corporate style of management or in any other management style, they absolutely don't talk about Brahmanas or dividing the society according to Varnashram Dharma. What does Srila Prabhupada say on success? Very beautiful purport. You can read, I am reading from the little bit in the between. I am very much satisfied that I did not alter any instruction of the Shastra, and it is becoming very effective. And in the Bhagavad Gita it is also stated, Yah Shastra Vidimutsurjam Vartate Kamagaratah. There is a beautiful translation. I am not reading the translation. In other words, a man may theoretically know all these things, but if he does not apply them in his own life, then he is to be known as lowest of mankind. The word Kamakarata is very significant. A person who knowingly violates the rules acts in lust. He knows that this is forbidden, still he acts. This is called acting whimsically. He knows that this should be done, but still he does not do it. Therefore, he is called whimsical. Such persons are destined to be condemned by the Lord, Supreme Lord. Fundamental problem with the systems approach or any other approach that is not given by Krishna, Western style, that is, even otherwise. So, what is the fundamental problem? The philosophical basis is goofed up. That is the problem. So, what happens is, say, in corporate world, systems approach or TQM or anything else, any other systems that you take, these are basically corporate or industrial style of management, corporate management styles. Their aim is very clear to them. They want more from the employees and they want to remain unaccountable. They want to hold control of them. Want profit. That is basically corporate style. That is the purpose of corporate style. Now, if these people, they tell the employees, oh, we are going to implement a style that you'll be squeezed by that, then that they won't accept it. So what they do is, basically, in their presentation, they keep floating these words: employee satisfaction, efficiency increase, customer satisfaction, this increase, that increase. So under these headings, but while implementing, they will implement what they want to implement. That's how it goes. Very fancy and sweet words in the presentation: this increase, that increase, this satisfaction, that satisfaction. But then implementation is the same. Now that happens because that is built with that purpose. Now, if any of such styles is implemented in another place, maybe ISKCON or anywhere else, so you think it is going to lead to anything else? It will lead the same thing. Those who are working, they will be, they will, in the name of efficiency increase, they will be squeezed up, or you can say even micro-controlled or something. And as far as the leaders or the managers are concerned, they remain unaccountable. And if such things are implemented in ISKCON and devotees eventually come to know about it, then because you see, no matter how many times, in the presentation I saw that there are 13 places, 13 times this word devotee satisfaction written. Well, there is no mention of the manager's accountability in that. But eventually devotees will see something like that. They will understand things. And then devotees will say that, oh, he is just a regular politician, who spoke very nice words and gave entertaining classes to us, made us laugh in the classes. But then, this is what he wanted. That will be very unbecoming on the part of those who implemented these systems or even presented them. Now, one thing is, Srila Prabhupada is not against accepting something new. He's not against it. Even technology. He's not against accepting new technology. Use dictaphones, but computers. But the thing is, not at the cost of tampering with the philosophy, Krishna conscious philosophy. And that is not permissible. The philosophical basis has to be authentic. It has to be proper. It cannot be tampered. So now, what is the philosophical basis you mean? Here it is. The philosophical basis has to be authentic. Like in our earlier presentations, there were many maps that were shown. Like for example, here, Srila Prabhupada is connecting these two blocks, that's why they are present. And he is connecting them this way. So, they are shown connected with an arrow. These arrows or blocks are just representations of Srila Prabhupada's words in graphical form for ease of understanding. I have tried my best to connect them the way Prabhupada has, and also provide supporting references for that connection and the blocks also. You can go to any map like this one or this one. Even the arrows, the connections. Now, in the system's presentation, neither the blocks has a representation to Srila Prabhupada's words, nor are they connected the way Srila Prabhupada intends to. Like these blocks, it's questionable where Prabhupada said these things. Or how did Prabhupada connect this Chetodarpan to management quality policy? Not saying it's wrong or right, but it's about providing the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra evidence. It's not about logic. In the entire presentation, the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra evidence for blocks and connections are missing. And that makes the philosophical basis of the presentation seriously questionable. The philosophical basis is the problem. Even the scriptural references, hardly any. Like here, Srila Prabhupada gives most of the places Srila Prabhupada gives scriptural references. In fact, what he speaks is all scriptural translations into English. But in the system's presentation, you see hardly any scriptural references. And the connections are also not correct. Like this Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan. This is not the way the Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan is connected, I suppose. Or this Madbhakta Puja Bhyadika. It is to pure devotees of the Lord. Like in the purport to this particular verse, Madbhakta Puja, it is the 11th canto, 19th chapter, 21st verse. It says, that's the purport. The word Madbhakta Puja Bhyadika are significant in this verse. Abhyadika indicates superior quality. The Lord is extremely satisfied with those who offer worship to His pure devotees. Pure devotees. And then further he says, Lord's generous appraisal of His pure devotees. Worship of the pure devotees is described superior to worship of the Lord Himself. It's not related to management or the devotees visiting the temple. No, not any devotee. Nothing to mean that they are not supposed to be satisfied. The point here is, this particular verse is connected this way to the pure devotees and nothing in connection to the management style or anything. No, that is not the way Prabhupada connects it. And as I said, that Chetu Darpana Marjanam to quality policy, I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. My point is, that's not the way Prabhupada connects it. Logic has no meaning. By the way, by logic you can connect anything to anything. Like the beard of Karl Marx, Asafoetida and the 18th verse of Bhagavad Gita. All three, they can be connected by logic. That is the pathetic state of logic. Logic is not the question. Logic can connect anything to anything. Point is Shastrik Praman. Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. That Praman has to be there. And that is missing. That's why the whole philosophical basis become questionable. And if we apply the same thing as in corporate style, then corporate style philosophy is very clear. They want more control for themselves, squeezing the employees but taking more out of them, and no accountability for themselves. That's what will happen. That is their philosophy. So the philosophical basis has to be correct. That is goofed up in the system. Now you will say, that is alright, but then how do you make departments? How do you organize temple activities and everything? Has Prabhupada said anything about that? Yes. And that is exactly what we'll say now. Making departments in the temple and with specific goals, authentic goals that Prabhupada has sold, and with detailed instructions of all departments, the hierarchy of it, which department comes where, and what is the purpose of the department. Goal first, then the department. Not that you make the departments and then, no. So, it is a very systematic and orderly manner that Prabhupada says a lot of things. And detailed instructions of all the departments. And the following presentation of organizing the temple or making departments and everything, that is not a complete picture because it's not a complete work done, but because it's just a first draft, you can say, of the work. But still I am presenting it because it will give you an idea of yes, it can be done and this way it can be done. So it's just for that. A beginner's, it will open the field. Yes, this is the way it is. It could be done. So here is the organization. It's not about being against some devotee as such. This presentation, of course, is not about that. To be clear, it's nothing against any particular devotee or something. It's about being for Prabhupada. It's not being against somebody, it's for Prabhupada. Because after all, devotional service is very practical. Varnashram is designed to go back to Godhead. Other systems are not designed for that. They are designed for something else. And what we want is to go back home. That's why this analysis is being made. And I request devotees to please reconsider these proposals. And because what Varnashram can do, other systems cannot do. As Varnashram is designed to take us back to Godhead, while other systems aren't meant for it.